The most expensive thing in your business right now might not be a bad decision. It might be the decision you keep avoiding.
You know what I'm talking about.
Indecision is like a slow leak in your business. You don't always see it right away, but it quietly drains your money, your time, and your team's energy until one day you look up and realize you've been stuck in neutral for months, or even worse, reverse.
Reverse.
Now I'm going to be vulnerable with you for just a second. This is one of my biggest weaknesses, if I'm honest, as a CEO. I have delayed letting go of employees or clients because I was hoping they'd magically change or the problem would fix itself. But the longer I waited, the bigger the mess became. And by the time I finally acted, well, the cost of waiting was way higher than if I would have just made the tough call early. But the real kicker is those hidden costs of indecision don't just show up in the hard-hitting big decisions. They creep into your hiring, your marketing, your investments, even that software that you've been thinking about for 6 months. And there's one cost most CEOs never even realize until it's too late. I'll share that before the end of this video. Welcome back to another episode of The Cozy CEO. Hey there, I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of The Emerald Edge. And around here, we call indecision what it really is. Expensive procrastination. Because while you're sitting on the fence, your money, your time, and your sanity are sneaking out the back door. Today, we're tackling one of the sneakiest forms of self-sabotage, indecision.
Hello, indecisive much?
We like to dress it up with phrases like waiting for clarity or gathering more data. But let's be honest, indecision is still a decision. And it usually comes with a hefty price tag.
Pay the fare or pay the price.
Here's the thing about indecision. It doesn't sit quietly in the background. It shows up in your bank account, in your stress levels, and even in the way your team looks at you when you stall on a call they're waiting for you to make. Sometimes the price is obvious, like missed opportunities or wasted money. Other times, it's sneaky. It creeps in as lost momentum, drained energy, or that stuck feeling that you just can't shake. And before we wrap, I'll share one hidden cost of indecision that most CEOs never even realize until it's too late.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
When you delay a decision, you're not playing it safe. You're silently bleeding money. Think about it. Postponing a key hire often means paying overtime, losing clients from poor service, or worse, burning yourself out trying to cover the gap.
Oh my God, I need help.
Waiting to invest in tools? Well, you're wasting hours on manual tasks every single day that could be automated. And every tax strategy you wait until later to implement, well, that's potentially thousands left on the table. Dollars you'll never get back.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
So imagine holding off on upgrading your CRM because it feels too expensive right now. Well, 6 months down the road, you've lost multiple leads because follow-ups slip through the cracks. The unfortunate reality of the situation, decision not to act costs you more than the investment ever would. So your takeaway here is money hates indecision. While you're sitting still, it's quietly draining out the back door.
Your company is losing clients left and right.
Here's where indecision really hurts. It doesn't just trip you up, it freezes your entire team. When you stall on a call, projects grind to a halt, deadlines get pushed, and everyone's left spinning their wheels. People aren't frustrated because they don't know what to do. They're frustrated because they can't move forward without your green light.
Green light! Why aren't you moving?
So picture your team waiting 3 weeks for you to decide whether to launch a campaign. By the time you finally say yes, well, deadlines are tight, quality drops, and the results fall short. Not because the team wasn't capable, but because indecision cost them momentum. So your takeaway here is, as the CEO, like it or not, you set the pace. And if you're idling in neutral, well, the whole business does too.
Okay, so I'm responsible, I'm organized, but
Here's the sneakiest cost of all. The mental drain. Carrying around unresolved questions. Should I hire? Should I pivot? Should I fire this client? It's like keeping 50 browser tabs open in your brain. It sucks your energy, makes everything feel heavier, and it honestly keeps you in survival mode instead of, visionary mode.
Huge. I'm a visionary.
You don't just lose time, you lose clarity. And clarity is a CEO's best friend. So I've worked with CEOs who spend weeks in limbo over one decision. And by the time they make the call, they're so mentally fried, they don't even have the energy left to actually execute it well. The indecision costs double. First, your clarity, then your confidence. So takeaway on this one is mental energy is a finite resource. So don't waste it looping on decisions you could have made days ago.
All right, I can't waste any more time.
And here's a quick reframe for you. Very few decisions are permanent. You can course correct. You can pivot. You can completely reverse a call if needed. What you can't do is get back the time you lost by sitting at the crossroads staring at your options. Waiting for the perfect choice, it's an illusion. And while you're chasing it, you're losing momentum. And momentum is the secret sauce every scaling business runs on.
Business, business, always business.
Think of a plane mid-flight. Pilots don't wait until they're 100% certain of the exact perfect route before moving. They adjust mid-air. If they sat on the runway waiting for clarity, well, the plane would never leave the ground. So action creates clarity. Perfection creates paralysis.
Analysis paralysis.
I had a client who kept putting off CFO services because of the cost. On paper, it felt like an extra expense, something they could maybe revisit later. The sad part is not making that decision was actually costing them way more than they realized. Every month they hesitated. Their jobs looked profitable on paper, but they had no money in the bank. They were running lean without even knowing it, missing key numbers in their profit calculations, which made it look like they were making money, but in reality, they were paying their clients to do the work for them.
That is the laziest thing I've ever heard.
When they finally took the leap and invested in CFO support, well, everything changed. We dug into their numbers, we restructured how they priced their services, and they managed their jobs. And suddenly their gross profit per job jumped like 40, 55%. And even better, their overall company profit increased by over 20. That's not just a win. That's the difference between hustling harder and finally building breathing room into the business. And it all started by making the decision that they'd been avoiding. The cost of waiting, way higher than the cost of acting.
Don't try to hustle me.
So takeaway here is sometimes delaying the right investment doesn't save you money. It keeps you stuck in a lower profit version of your business. And this happens more times than I'd like to share.
I can relate to that.
Here's the bottom line. Indecision isn't neutral. It's costing you money, momentum, and peace of mind. And the longer you delay, well, the more expensive it gets. Whether that's missed profits, stalled growth, or the mental load you have to keep carrying. Here's the good news. You don't have to keep paying the price of waiting. The most powerful CEOs aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who make the call, learn, and then keep moving forward.
Keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Progress loves decisiveness. And if you've been putting off making the decision to get deeper financial clarity, well, this is your sign. Our CFO advisory service exists for exactly this reason. We help you move out of the guessing game and into confident, profitable decision making. When you sit down with us, we'll help you uncover where indecision is draining your profits and what to do instead. So make sure you book a free strategy call with our team today. And let's find out how much more you could be making by finally taking action.
You're gonna make me rich.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the Cozy CEO, where coffee may keep us fueled, but it's imperfect action that keeps us in business. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video.